Hello, and welcome to our presentation regarding case number 17. My name is Brett Johnson, and I'm going to be your guide through this case. What we will be discussing is regarding IKEA and their strategy to expand beyond a simple Swedish furniture retailer to become a major retail force in Europe, the United States, and to eventually become a globally recognizable brand. We will be discussing their history, corporate mission, and how that mission has and will impact their ability to expand their market presence globally. IKEA was founded in 1943 by Ingvar Kamprad in Sweden. He started out as a simple small operation selling economical furniture in small towns in Sweden. Over time, he was able to grow his business until, in 1982, he sold IKEA to the Dutch nonprofit Stichting Kinka Foundation, who currently operates the business today under the organization the IKEA Group. After the takeover by the nonprofit, IKEA began to expand their operations outside of Sweden and expanded across Europe and began operations in the United States. In the 1990s, they continued their growth in these areas as well as internally by the creation of the Children's IKEA, which can be found in their regular IKEA locations as the children's section. They followed that growth up with expansion into the new markets of Russia and Japan in the 2000s and currently have operations across the globe, not only in these countries but as well as areas such as Australia and expanded operations through Asia. Below, you can see IKEA's mission statement. It reads, "Provide functional, well-designed furniture at prices so low that as many people as possible will be able to afford them, creating a better everyday life for the many people." IKEA has identified three major growth areas, which are strategic areas in which they are able to focus on in order to reach their mission. Those are quality products at low prices, people and planet positive, and when people grow, IKEA grows too. As you saw from the video, IKEA's designers work in a way directly linked to their overall mission. When observing their production processes as well as their marketing strategy, you will find that these are managed in a way that is mission-focused as well. From a production standpoint, IKEA is heavily focused on low price and sustainability. They're able to achieve these standards through a specific process. IKEA first identifies the product to focus on and determines an ideal retail price they would like for the product in order to achieve profitability. They then work with their large network of suppliers to determine the lowest price to achieve their margin while remaining cost conscious for the consumer. As you saw from the video, they also design products utilizing natural colors to save on production, as well as packaging solution in order to save costs. These cost savings are passed along to the consumer to help them achieve low prices. From a marketing standpoint, IKEA has four major focal areas to communicate their offerings to the consumer. These include product design, which is critical in attracting consumers, as well as having a heavy focus on their catalog and direct mailing operations. They have various advertising opportunities in each of their respective markets, and finally, IKEA focuses on PR and promotions to promote word-of-mouth advertising. All four of these areas are critical for IKEA in order to achieve their overall mission. As we delve into IKEA's expansion strategy, the challenges that they have faced are exemplified in their expansion into the United States. The US is a critical market to IKEA, with a population north of 250 million and a similar market makeup to Europe. This is a major opportunity for IKEA. However, as entering any new market can be, IKEA has realized that there are some major differences between the US and European markets that have slowed their expansion plans. IKEA has learned that in order to achieve success in the US market, they have to adapt their business model to US consumer preference. For example, US consumers have a demand for high-quality products at low prices. IKEA's do-it-yourself model has come with some resistance in the US due to the fact that US consumers see do-it-yourself operations as a little bit lower quality. With that being said, the impact has been profound. With a model that focuses on brick-and-mortar locations, IKEA was only able to open up 3 new locations between 2009. Moving forward, we look at IKEA's recent business statistics. Again, I want to take a moment to look at their abbreviated vision statement, which reads, "To create a better everyday life for the many people." I focus on this because their business statistics go beyond sales and focus on the people and their charitable contributions. Overall, in the fiscal year 2012, we can see that IKEA has grown in sales as well as having strong income and assets. More important to their mission and vision, IKEA has built a strong reputation and in turn has built a strong network of suppliers and partners. They've amassed a high number of customers and have surpassed the billion mark in customers who visited IKEA.com. Finally, IKEA focuses on their foundation and charitable contributions, with over €82 million donated to charitable contributions. Remembering that they're owned by a nonprofit, IKEA takes seriously their focus on sustainability and charity. As we visit their focus on sustainability, I take you back to one of their 3 growth areas. That area was people and planet positive. Here, you can see some of the efforts IKEA has made to build sustainability into their business model. You can see they have a high focus on renewable energy, recycled products, and investing in a sustainable future. They have made a strong focus on renewable energy through their installation of solar panels and wind turbines to power their operations. Their products focus on so-called green materials, with 91% of their products utilizing renewable, recyclable, and recycled material. This sustainable model has helped them to remain focused on their overall mission not only of sustainability, but also their ability to build loyal customers who stand by IKEA and their efforts. When our group put together the SWOT analysis for IKEA, our main focus was regarding IKEA's implementation of their mission and vision statements and how that has impacted their business. As you read through the strengths and weaknesses, there are a couple of points that I like to highlight. Many of the strengths are actually interlinked. The corporate culture is what fosters the strengths such as the low-cost structure, the brand image, and sustainability. These strengths mentioned are actually implemented through other strengths such as the supply chain management, the do-it-yourself approach, and the added amenities that IKEA has. As one strength waxes or wanes, what we find is that the rest actually follow. The other piece I like to point out is the do-it-yourself approach is listed as both a strength and a weakness. This is actually because while it's a strength in the fact that it helps to support the low-cost structure and overall mission of IKEA, it actually also reduces IKEA's ability to adjust to new markets, challenging its ability to enter these new markets and grow as a global brand. The other weaknesses also follow the same theme of challenging IKEA's ability to expand into new markets. Next, we look at the external opportunities and threats that IKEA faces when looking to expand their operations. There are a few things here as well that I want to point out to you that we find important. From an opportunity standpoint, I highlight the economic conditions. IKEA is growing in what we all know to be a global recession. This actually gives IKEA the ability to expand at a good time, as the costs of expansion are deflated in this economy. As IKEA grows over time in the future, the economy will improve, and theoretically, IKEA can look forward to seeing growth in their expanded operations as the economy improves. With regards to the threats, the main point I like to highlight is competition. I point this out because one of the threats IKEA faces is that as they enter new markets, they must learn about their competitors and how that will impact their business. For example, with expansion in the US, IKEA must understand that they receive competition from other low-price retailers such as Walmart and Target, who have much larger operations with similar missions that are established in the US market that they may not have seen in the European market. This threat is what causes IKEA to adjust their business practices in new markets. Naturally, this leads us to the challenges that IKEA faces, and as you can see from the top, we're right back to competition. The major difference between IKEA's operations and Walmart's alone are huge. It's a bit of an uphill climb for IKEA. This challenge leads to all the others. As IKEA looks to expand their operations in the United States and other markets, they must learn about the market perceptions that each individual market has and how it will challenge their implementation. Simply taking the European model and expanding it globally will not work out as they may hope. Similarly, the perceptions that they may find in the US market, such as the product quality, may not translate to an Asian market. These challenges listed are areas where IKEA needs to focus in order to more successfully launch into new markets. As an example, at the bottom you see that supply chain management is listed as a challenge. However, when we were in the SWOT analysis, it was actually listed as a company's strength. It's listed as a challenge here because while supply chain management has helped IKEA achieve low costs, it also limits their ability to meet the needs of other markets. Markets such as the United States, where customization is popular, IKEA may actually need to adapt their supply chain management strategy in order to achieve customization should they choose to move that route. The challenge is also the fact that should they decide to make this change, they also need to make it in a way which keeps intact their ability to keep prices low through having an efficient supply chain management. What we find here as we read through the challenge is a simple fact. Global expansion is complex, and it leads to complex challenges. With IKEA wanting to become a global brand, our group has identified 3 courses of action which IKEA could implement in order to expand their global presence. The first option is to expand their digital presence primarily through IKEA.com. The major benefit to this strategy is that it allows IKEA to attract a large global consumer base at a rapid rate. It also fits with IKEA's mission in that it allows IKEA to offer low-cost products to as many people as possible, and with a digital presence being eco-friendly, it fits in with their goal of sustainability. While this seems like a very positive course of action, it is not without its drawbacks. This is not a cheap implementation, as it would require expansion of its distribution network and would also require heavy investments into traditional marketing to get the message regarding the new IKEA.com site out to the world. Finally, it only reaches a segment of shoppers who are willing to shop online. While this seems like a positive course of action, we also have 2 alternatives that we want to allow you to hear. The second course of action is to increase customization options of their products. This strategy is more focused on expansion into the US market, but could be implemented into other markets with a similar desire for customization. This strategy would allow IKEA to more greatly capitalize on a target market in the US and meet the expectations that the majority of this market requires. IKEA also benefits from having a business structure in place that can handle these increased customization options, as well as the benefit that this would have a huge expansion in a target customer base. The major drawback that I would like to point out is that it may cause IKEA to reevaluate their mission and whether this option fits into what they do. If IKEA finds that this option is not in line with their mission, it may not be a successful implementation. The final course of action is to greatly expand the physical store presence globally. The greatest benefit that this option has is that it supports IKEA's mission and is a strategy that they have already implemented in Europe, so they're familiar with this strategy. This strategy also allows for IKEA to directly educate consumers about their brand through face-to-face interaction. The major drawback to this strategy is simply the fact that it is likely to be the most expensive option and not the quickest to implement. Should IKEA want to take advantage of the current economic environment, this may not be the best option. However, should IKEA feel most comfortable with continuing their path of opening existing stores, this option may be viable. In the end, our group decided that the recommended course of action we had was the first option, to expand digitally. This best aligns with IKEA's strengths and limitations. It allows for quick implementation into a marketplace globally, as well as an opportunity to remain liquid with their cash. It also falls in line with their corporate strategy of allowing access to low-cost products to as many consumers as possible, as well as the ability for IKEA to remain sustainable, as expanding digitally is an eco-friendly action.